Hey there. Whenever you get a big, important project, whether it's for school or maybe for work, there's always that feeling, right? It's like a mix of excitement, but also a little bit of dread. Well, today we're going to talk about a simple framework that can help turn that dread into a quiet kind of confidence. Yeah, that feeling. You're just staring at the assignment, and your mind starts racing with all the worst case scenarios. What if my part of the project depends on someone else and they don't deliver? What if the software crashes? What if I totally misunderstood the whole point? It's that little knot that forms in your stomach when the stakes feel high. And here's the thing, that anxiety, that's not a weakness. It's actually your brain doing its job. It's spotting uncertainty on the horizon. See, risk is really just two things coming together. Uncertainty, the problem might happen, it might not, and loss. If it does happen, things aren't going to be great. I love this quote because it gets right to the point. We basically have a choice. We can just wait around for problems to pop up and then scramble, or we can be proactive. We can take all that nervous energy and actually channel it into a solid plan. So, how do we do that? Well, we can use a really simple but powerful framework called RMMM. It stands for Risk Mitigation, Monitoring, and Management. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is just as a before, during, and after plan for dealing with anything that might go sideways. Okay, so first up is mitigation. This is your before plan. It's all about thinking ahead and setting things up in a way that just makes problems less likely to even happen. And the process is super simple. First, you just brainstorm, what could go wrong here? Then, for each of those potential risks, you just create one little preventative step. You're not trying to solve the problem yet, you're trying to stop it from ever becoming a problem in the first place. Okay, let's make this real with a classic college scenario, the big group presentation. A huge risk, right, is that a key teammate gets sick the day of and can't present. So what's the mitigation strategy? Simple. From day one, you create a shared Google Doc or whatever you use. Everything goes in there. Research, notes, slide content. Now the knowledge isn't trapped in one person's brain. And that right there is the feeling we're going for. It's this quiet confidence that just kind of replaces that constant background hum of anxiety. You're not worried, you're not stressed, you're just prepared. But a good plan isn't something you just make and then forget about, right? And that brings us to the second M, monitoring. This is your during plan. Now, monitoring isn't about micromanaging people, not at all. It's just about calmly paying attention. You think about the early warning signs, the little signals that a risk might be getting more likely, and then you just keep an eye on them as the project goes on. So, back to our group project. What's a warning sign that a team member might be struggling? Well, maybe they go quiet in the group chat, or you notice they haven't added anything to the shared doc in a while. Your monitoring plan is simply to notice these things, and maybe at the next team meeting, gently ask, hey, how's everything going with your part? You see the difference? You're not anxiously hunting for problems. You're just calmly aware of the project's pulse. You're just able to notice if the rhythm changes. But hey, even with the best plans in the world, sometimes things still go wrong. And that's okay, because that's what the final M is for. Management. This is your after plan. This is your contingency plan. The real magic here is that you think through the steps before a crisis hits. You just assume the problem has happened, and you write down, step by step, okay, if this happens, here's exactly what we will do. That way, when you're feeling panicked, you don't have to think. You just follow the plan you made when you were calm. So, the text message arrives. Your teammate says, I'm so sorry, I'm sick, I can't make it. Instead of a total panic, the management plan just kicks in. Because you mitigated with a shared document, all their notes are right there. And because you were monitoring, you kind of had a feeling they were struggling. So the plan is clear. Another team member steps up, reviews the shared notes, and covers their part. What could have been a disaster is now just a manageable hiccup. And this is really the goal of the whole system. You're taking that tangled, messy feeling of fear and uncertainty, and you're transforming it. It doesn't totally disappear, but it becomes something useful. It becomes a state of calm readiness. It's really interesting to see these two mindsets laid out side by side. Anxious worry is so vague and it just paralyzes you. It just spins and spins on the worst case scenario. But RMM planning, it's the complete opposite. It's specific, it's actionable, and it focuses all your energy on a prepared, calm response. And this is so crucial to understand. You can never get rid of all risk. Life is unpredictable, but that's not the goal.
The goal is to build a system that makes you resilient. It's about taking that fuzzy, useless energy of what if and actually turning it into the quiet, solid confidence of, I have a plan for that.
So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this one little action. Think about a project you're working on right now. What is one small potential problem? It doesn't have to be a big deal, just one small thing. And what is one tiny mitigation step you could take today to make it just a little less likely to happen? Because really, that's what this is all about. It's about growing from just hoping for the best to actually planning for what's real. And that's a really empowering way to approach pretty much any challenge you're ever going to face. I hope this helps you find a little more calm in your next big project.